Hello there, very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us here on Ideal World. We team up in this hour with Planet Cruise, which is a brilliant opportunity for you because you've got this synergy of two companies coming together, and then of course we go out to the cruise lines as well and bring you deal after deal after deal. For many of you, you may find a bucket cruise answered tonight. Some of you might be going on your very first cruise and plan it tonight. Now, I can tell you we have got a Halloween special where the deal ends tonight at midnight. We've got another deal where the deal ends tomorrow. So there are 7 cruises. We're going to, and I will at some point be whizzing through these. So if you feel like, oh, I can't keep up with it, can't keep up with it, it's because there's a lot to share. But I'm glad to tell you I'm not the expert tonight, even though I worked on cruise ships myself. Let me introduce you to Justin, who will be taking us through all the cruises. Great to see you, Justin.
Yeah, great to see you back as well.
And we got what if someone was to prick their ears up and listen out for a particular cruise, what was your hot tip?
To be fair, they're all good, but tonight we've got some great Christmas cruises on river lines as well. We've got a guest tonight from SAGA as well, a brand new ship for 2019, and when you see this ship, I was impressed. And again, you know, when you've been in the cruise industry for a long time and you see something that you go, I'd like to go on that, that's when you start to get excited. So
you can see there's a lot to bring you in the next 60 minutes. Now, let me point out, you will see a phone number on the screen in a few moments' time. Don't use your speed dial because it is not our regular number. You're going to be calling Planet Cruise. And as we make our way through the show, we'll show that these are the favourite. They are the favourite agency with many of the cruise lines. So there's your number at the bottom of the screen, 0808 250 2662. Free of charge to call. The team are waiting for your calls right now. And, of course, if you've got the internet, you can get ahead of the game by going to planetcruise.co.uk. There's all sorts of information available to you. So should we get started?
Yeah, let's crack on.
So our very first cruise is Cunard, where I was fortunate enough to work myself. And we bring you the Queen Victoria. So, should we talk about the cruise line first? A little bit of, because these have got a great history.
I was just going to say, you know, they are looked at as one of the biggest names, if not the biggest. And of course, you know, you think of ocean liners, you think of the days of glamour. And the great thing is about Cunard, they've retained that, was still moving with the time. And when you look at the atrium that you can see there, or the grand lobby, you do get that sense of history and heritage, luxury and service. And certainly with the Queen Victoria, great size ship, lovely decor as well from the restaurants that you have above. I'm quite familiar with the layout of this ship because it's very similar to a platform of ship that I actually worked on, what they call the Vista class. Oh, yeah. So she's 90,000 tonnes, you've got around just over 2,000 passengers. So I can highly recommend the layout of the ship, great space, you're never short of space on board. And again, look at the library, you know, it's just those little touches, those classic touches that make Cunard stand themselves around from any other cruise line.
I do love the lines of this particular ship, and you see, as you say, it's almost going back to an era gone by. So you've got the opportunity, although it's all modern, it's all new, you've got the opportunity to understand and enjoy what cruising used to be about. You often hear talk about the white glove service because it goes back to the White Star line. It's just amazing.
You're saying about everything being brand new. She's actually just undergone a quite extensive refit. Yeah, and again, sometimes I'm sure, you know, in the past with cruise lines, they have a little bit of a refit, or they'll do things on turnaround days when they come into Southampton or their home port. This is quite a significant one, and I think you will see a difference if you've been on it before.
Great. Come on, this is a great line. Let's go to the itinerary. And I would say, if maybe this is your first experience of cruising, this is a great way to go because it's Southampton to Southampton, and it's going to be under £103 per person per night.
Well, I think as well, going from Southampton, if there's any viewers watching that don't fly or don't like to fly, then this is a great opportunity. Yeah. La Rochelle, first port of call, lovely little port. Straight away, you'll probably recognise it from its little harbour. In fact, there's 3 little turrets, which is St Nicholas Gateway, and of course, you're not far away. Oh, there's the turrets I was just talking about, the towers there, just going into the harbour. You're not far from the Cognac region, so if you do want to go out and do some of the tours as well, we can book that at Planet Cruise, so save yourself a little bit of time when you're on board. You can go on board knowing that you've already planned your days out. So great day out in La Rochelle. Then we're off to Bilbao, and this, straight away you'll recognise one of the museums. If you love a little bit of history, here's the Guggenheim, just on the banks of the river. There's also a very famous flower display as well in the shape of a dog. So you've got to go and get a photo with that. But to be fair, my actual recommendation would be to go into the Old Quarter, because what you've got here is you've got lovely old cobbled streets, you've got some lovely little cafes, little restaurants as well, and you can just people watch, you know, get a flavour for the culture as well. There's some lovely dishes over there. Then you've got Gijon. Now this is actually a new port on the itinerary for myself here. Apparently, food-wise, it's one of the best in the region.
Don't tell me, chicken Gijons?
No, no.
Oh.
It's all seafood, and their local tipple, which is sidra. So if you want to wash down a couple of dishes with that. One thing that particularly caught my eye is that you've got 13 miles of bike lanes that are local.
Wow.
So if you do want to get out, you know, if it's a nice fresh day, then you can actually hire a bike and go out and see you know, a little bit of the town itself. But a lovely little way. Then we've got a relaxing day at sea. Now, of course, you've got the Queen Victoria to enjoy. There'll be onboard activities. There'll be plenty to do. And to be fair, sea days, if I was cruising, I'd be out on the promenade deck on one of the lounges. Even if it was, you know, a fresh day, a crisp day, just wrap up and just enjoy the sea air. I think there's a lot to be said for just unplugging.
I hear you. Yeah, really good way to go, especially if you can get yourself hot chocolate with a tipple of brandy in it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Good days.
Last port of call is a real highlight. This is St. Peter's Port, which is
Guernsey.
Yeah. It's a lovely little port, and you know, on a really good weather day, you do feel as if you're abroad, but you are still in the UK. Of course, there's loads of history from the Second World War. So if you do want to do some of the history, then you can do that. But it's also particularly good for silversmiths. So if you do want to, you know, buy something, or if you love your jewellery, then it's a really good place to pick something up. And then you're going to be getting back on board the ship and heading back to Southampton, and that wraps up a 7-night cruise. Again, value-wise, it's just £110 deposit.
Brilliant value for money.
I mean, you can upgrade to a balcony for under £30 per person per night. And for those of you that are travelling a little bit further afield than the south of the UK, there is an offer where you can add on a night at the Holiday Inn in Winchester. And for just £95 per person, you get your accommodation. You also get breakfast included in that.
Nice.
But you also get your parking and your transfers to the port.
Now, for me, I was really worth inquiring about.
How much is a 7-day for a car park? And then you have to book a taxi, or you have to, you know, get, you know, on an app or something like that. All of that is included in that £95 price for the extra night there. So
really worth considering. In fact, we'll recap this in a moment. What I'm keen to do, if it's right, I'd like to go through this video, because we can really then enjoy the ship and see what Cunard is. I mean, look at the chandelier. Come on.
Yeah, and of course, now you've got the addition of what they call the yacht club as well, which is there's a great range of social activities in the day and the evening. There's great sort of themed music venues as well.
And I think it's important to, like, the chart room. These are a great place where you can go if you want quietness, if you just want to sit and read, if you just want to go and check your iPad, you know, do anything of that nature. You can. So sometimes people think cruise, everything's organised for you. No, lots of things are organised, and you can participate if you wish. You can do as little as you want. I mean, imagine being out on the high seas and thinking, I'm going to just jump in the jacuzzi. You can. I'm just going to jump in the pool and have a quick swim. You can. I'm going to sit in my cabin and watch telly. You can. That's the beauty of it, isn't it?
But you are going to be doing it in Cunard style. Yeah,
absolutely. It's fantastic. Come on, let's tell you what's included. Do write down the cruise ID number for this one if it's catching your attention. That's 124254. You can see it on the left-hand side on the blue bar. So, free upgrade, and this is why you want to go Planet Cruise, because Planet Cruise give you some exclusive deals. In this case, we've got a free upgrade from inside to outside cabin, so you're going to get to see the ports as you go in and out. And as Justin has said, for another £32 per person per night, you can actually upgrade to a balcony, and I would certainly encourage you to do that if you can. Then you've got the opportunity to enjoy that one night in the Holiday Inn in Winchester if you wish. So there's lots to consider. Now, am I right in saying there's a deal with Alaska as well? Can we show that off? There's a deal with Alaska as well,
yeah, definitely. I mean, apart from going out the inside passage, there's some great offers on different types of cabin, but there's one thing on there that everybody always asks about, and it's the Rocky Mountaineer. So if you're going all the way to Alaska, and especially doing it with Cunard, you want to go onto that train journey, which is the Rocky Mountaineer. And we've got specialists at Planet Cruise that have actually worked in the region and been on that wonderful journey. So please make sure when you book it to ask about the Rocky Mountaineer. Yeah, definitely. And again, it's free to call. The team's waiting for your calls right now. 0808 250 2662. Any of those, just feel... And there's the ID number at third line down. ID 159548. Just
chat to the team, talk to them, but if you can, get yourself up there. Juneau's amazing. I know I've been there, done it the season twice. Skagway is amazing, Ketchikan's amazing, Victoria Island is beautiful, and I did take my wife up the Inside Passage twice. She loved it both times. It's an amazing place to go, so if you get a chance, enjoy every second. Now, let's introduce you to Cunard, because we're about to move on to our next cruise. Now, this is a great line. We're talking SAGA, but SAGA are bringing out a brand new ship. It's brand new to them, so let me introduce you to Cunard right away. Cunard, great to see you. I'm going to blow your kiss rather than hop over.
Yeah,
great to see you. Thanks for coming in today. Tell us a little bit about SAGA, because I think a lot of people know the name, but not really sure why.
So we're an over 50s cruise line.
Yeah.
We currently have 2 ships in our fleet, but we've got a new one which we're going to talk about this evening that joins in 2019.
Brilliant.
We're all about small ship cruising. We depart from Southampton or Dover, and it's really about personable service on board.
So it's all out of the UK, so take as much luggage as we want.
Absolutely, yeah.
And am I right in saying, I made a note here that it's 5-star and it's only balconies, all balconies?
On the new ship, yeah.
Wow.
All balcony cabins.
Amazing.
Yes.
Well, let's take a moment to actually look at it. Maybe you can tell us what we're looking at.
Of course, yeah.
So that's the ship?
Yeah.
Looks gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Isn't it really great? And so it's all balconies?
All balcony cabins, yeah.
Wow.
So there's 540. So this is the atrium as you go in. So this is the centre of the ship. So you can see it's really modern, elegant.
It's classic looks, isn't it?
Absolutely,
Really, really stylish.
This is what we call the heartbeat of the ship. This is one of our bars, the Cape Bar.
Yeah.
Where they will show some sports. This is our library area.
I was just saying it, you know, in the previous line, that it's great because the ship does give you the chance to be busy or to be as quiet as you want.
Yeah. So these are showing some of our dining options. So the first one was our main dining area.
Yeah.
These are the specialty restaurants, but we don't charge any extra to dine in those.
Oh, right. A lot of lines do, don't they?
Absolutely, no supplements.
That is that's
complimentary.
fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
The spa, which looks an amazing place to relax.
And there's lots included on board. I know you guys like to use the term all-inclusive. Do you like Wi-Fi? Is that is that included?
Yeah, we include the Wi-Fi on board.
What about some drinks?
You get wine, beers or soft drinks included for the lunch and dinner.
Oh my goodness.
You can have as much of that as you like.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
But look, I just can't believe the actual style of the cabins, the decor that they've gone for. It's really surprised me. Again, I think you know there's perceptions in certainly the cruise industry and the holiday industry. You know, the fact that you've got this new ship coming out for SAGA, she looks absolutely amazing. And I always say that it's great to go on a ship in an inaugural season. There's that excitement from the crew. There's that excitement from passengers because you know, surely Paul you know will remember back in his day. You know,
what do you mean back in my day?
Back in the day.
Back in my day.
Back in the day.
I was on a steamship,
got
love.
really excited about being on board for the first cruise or the first season. You know, they're the first passengers.
I was lucky enough to bring out the Olympia Voyager, fastest cruise ship in the world at a time, and then I brought out Queen Mary 2, which was the largest ship in the world at the time, and it is exciting. So, and there's also something really important to ask you. I think I read a note that you even include like the transfer to and fro the ship?
Yep, so we include a chauffeur service, so we pick you up from home.
A chauffeur?
A chauffeur service.
So you don't have to get to like a bus station or a point to be picked up, they pick you up from your door?
The driver turns up, he rings your doorbell, he puts the luggage in the car, and the customer doesn't see it again until it's in their cabin.
That is amazing.
So we make it really nice and easy. It's your holiday starts from the minute you leave your front door.
Well, talking of your holiday, let's find out where you go. Come on, let's have a look at the itinerary. Again, we know it's Southampton, so we know we're going... Oh, sorry, Dover. This one's Dover, isn't it? Yeah, Dover. So where are we off to? It's the fjords, isn't it?
We're going off to Norway, yeah. This is a beautiful itinerary. If you've never been to Norway, you've got to go. I
like to call it the Alaska of Europe.
Yeah,
yeah.
Really, and you know, that's a really good way of putting it. I've never thought of it that way, but really, really good.
Well,
if you've never been, it's so fresh. The air is just so crisp, and Kristiansand is just beautiful. You've got several things that I'd highly recommend here. You've got the Holland Village, which is like a traditional fisherman's village, so you can get some great seafood there, arts and crafts. There's a couple of churches that date back to the 1100s as well. There's actually one there, the Oddernes Church, which has got a runic stone, which is actually set in the porch itself. There's also a cannon museum, just to go to the other end of the scale. It's got the world's largest land-based cannon. So there's plenty of scenery
I like
there.
Kristiansand because it's so quiet compared to where we're off to. Bergen, when you get there and it changes tempo altogether, doesn't it?
Yeah, but Bergen's a real metropolis. You know, you've got a fantastic feel with Bergen. Well, one of my favourite Norwegian ports, to be fair.
Gorgeous.
And you'll be able to walk up into the market. Generally, every week they have a great fish market.
Yeah.
All of the shops along the harbour, they're all brightly coloured, but they're great value shops, and it's local handicrafts. The restaurants are good. Yeah, I highly recommend there's a walking tour that you can go up in there. Up into the forest. I'd highly recommend the guided tour. I went up there on a late sail and nearly missed the ship. So they'll wait for the passengers, they won't wait for the crew.
Nearly missed the ship. That's the cardinal sin for crew, isn't it? The cardinal sin.
I tell you what, I was proper panicking because it was getting dark. It was getting dark and I was like, I don't know where I'm going. Look, see the little lights up in the background? Yeah. That's the actual railway itself. Anyway, we move on to Olsen. And Olsen is, again, quite a big port itself. Yeah. This is a city port. It's relatively modern. There was a big fire back in the 1900s which destroyed a lot of the buildings. So then they've got this modern architecture. So it's a little bit different, which really does stand out. If you're a little bit bold and you like to try something new, they've got a local delicacy called kipflisk, which is dried cod.
Kiss a cat.
Not quite. But yeah, plenty to see and do there. Then we're going after Haugesund. Now, this is one of the best places to get, well, a remarkable photo. It is the home of what they call the Pulpit Rock. And this is one of the most unique Norwegian features. When you think of the wonderful fjords, you think of these mountains and waterfalls, but the actual town itself, absolutely stunning. You've got the Rivjarden Lighthouse, which you can walk along one of the trails and go and get some photos down there as well. There's also St Olav's Church. The actual church itself has got a 25-foot stone pillar that many believe will predict the end of the world. Just on a bright, happy note.
Is that fake news?
Sorry?
Is that fake news?
Is that fake news? No, some say. But the great thing is that, you know, with Norway, you've got that whole air of magic. And of course, if you love your classical music, Edvard Grieg, you know, the whole culture of trolls, and little nymphs as well. So, yes.
We all like little nymphs, don't we? And trolls. Plenty of trolls too. Now listen, we talked about lots of the inclusions: free door-to-door chauffeur service, free Wi-Fi, free wine and beer with lunch and dinner. Yeah. What's this? I think I read a note that said about free insurance.
It's included insurance, yeah.
So how does that work? I mean, obviously, if you're 50 or you're 70 or 80, 90, it's going to be...
It doesn't matter how old you are. So there's no upper age limit on it. It's also very good at covering pre-existing medical conditions.
That is amazing.
It's quite liberal compared to a lot of other insurances.
I really think that's really something worth considering. So brand new, all balcony ship, 5-star, door-to-door chauffeur service, as Sukina told us.
And that's up to 250 miles each way on the chauffeur service.
That's the terms and conditions apply. Yeah. But yeah, 250 miles is a good distance, isn't it? And then we've got free Wi-Fi, as you said, free wine and with lunch and dinner. And then cruising for over the 50s, as you quite rightly said. And look, there it is. Optional insurance is included in that price. So that is brilliant value for money. So cruise ID for that one is 157067. Sukina, I really appreciate your time. You stay there just for a moment. We're going to move on to our next line. Now, this next one, wow, this is a pretty impressive stuff. This one, I can't tell you about the ship. Am I right in saying, Justin, this one is a secret Christmas cruise? What exactly do we mean by a secret Christmas cruise?
This price is absolutely incredible. We can't tell you about the cruise line. We can't tell you about the cruise ship. We're going to give you destinations of where you're going.
So we know where we're going?
Yeah, but I can tell you it's 5-star. I can tell you as well that all of the tours are included as well. And when you see the price that this is at and where you're going, we can give you all of those details. But the only thing is, you don't know which ship you're going on.
We booked it wasn't a holiday. We had like a weekend away. It was one of them weekends away. And you didn't know the hotel you were going to. They just guaranteed it was a 5-star hotel. And you had no idea what the hotel was until you booked it. And then you got all the details. It was brilliant. Brilliant. And we had a great weekend. I'm talking a great weekend. In fact, we've got 4 kids now, so it was a long weekend, but it was worth every penny. So let's have a look at the trip. Now, talk us through this, Justin.
So, I tell you what, the great thing is, it's Christmas, and you know, any time that you get, it's a bit of a tradition with me and my other half and her family that we do a lot of Christmas markets. We've done Germany, we've done Prague, we've done Budapest. So we'll talk about that later on. You will love going around a Christmas market, if you've always said to yourself, you know what, we need to do the Christmas markets, then you can perhaps book, book a local hotel. You've still got all the transport and all of that. Go on this cruise. You get 10 nights on one of your favourite rivers. You said that you've been up the Danube several times, the whole Danube.
Yeah, very lucky.
And the actual, the Christmas markets, the glühwein, the stollen cake, the bratwurst, the bratwurst, the currywurst, all the food is fantastic. In fact, I remember that very, very well.
What happened? What happened?
I think, well, I'll tell you later.
We like the gossip, don't we?
No, I'm going all coy and embarrassed and shy.
Well,
anyway,
this is a 7-night cruise and then 3 days in Prague.
Yes,
correct?
Yeah, and the thing is, 3 days in Prague.
Yeah, fantastic.
If you love your city breaks,
my cousin recently went there, loved it.
It's superb. But what you're actually doing is you're starting in Budapest, and Budapest itself, a fantastic day in Budapest. You can see all the greatest highlights, and you are seeing it at Christmas as well. And bear in mind, this is Christmas this year.
Yeah.
This
just around the corner.
So, of course, Budapest, you've got the two sides. You've got the side of Buda and you've got the side of Pest. And in between, you've got the numerous famous bridges that you can walk across. Highly recommend going across to see some of the palaces as well. Definitely St. Stephen's statue, which is on the other side, the older side. There's an amazing food hall, and just in the background there, you can see the Parliament. Now, the Parliament is one of the largest parliamental buildings in the world.
Oh, right.
There's also a fantastic memorial there as well, which is the Shoes on the River, which I'd highly recommend going and seeing. And one of the greatest places to have a wander around is the old Jewish quarter. And all the Christmas markets there, they will be awesome. You really will. Budapest, one of my favourite places. I went there in the winter, fell in love with it, went back in the summer, it was even better. Wow. I think it was probably because it was more familiar, but, Christmas, you've got to go and see it. Anyway, then we're off to Vienna. I know, just straight from Budapest to one of these amazing ports. The flavour that you've got to remember, tours are included, so there will be tours that you can take that are included in the price that you see. Apart from all the great Christmas markets, of course, you've got great classical music there. You've got the likes of Haydn, Mozart, Schubert, Strauss, all born and bred here. So great culture. And, of course, you've got to go to the Schumann Palace as well. I mean, to see that, again, in Christmas, and when I say at Christmas, it's December the 18th. Yeah. So you're going to get to see it really at its peak.
Because you are going to be away Christmas Day, and I think to a lot of people that's what's appealing about this, because you've got the opportunity. Look, maybe your kids have grown up and they're not coming this year. Maybe you're going to be on your own. Maybe you don't celebrate Christmas and you just want to get away from everything.
To be fair, yeah, we used to do that quite a lot.
Yeah.
As a family, it's actually quite nice to go away. The next day that we've had 2 quite large port days. And what you get is you get a morning and an afternoon in 2 different places. So you've got Wesenkirchen and Green. Now, this is a great winemaking region, but all I'd say is the medieval towns that you've got here, they're smaller, they're off the beaten track, which means you haven't got that hustle and bustle of some of the larger towns. So all I'm going to say,
I'd really love
go and explore. Yeah. Just have a wander around the town, see the churches, take some photos, because you've got another big day next. You've got Linz. Now, Linz itself is not a massive place, but there's plenty to do here. You've got Hauptplatz, there's a lovely statue right in the middle of this square, and there's some great shops and buildings. The architecture is absolutely stunning. You've got the Possenberg Bahn as well, which is a tram service that you can go on. Yeah. If you like taking things a little bit slower, then I'd highly recommend doing it. Oh, see the lights in the background? So the Ars Electronica Centre...
You don't mean the blue one? You mean the blue one?
The blue lights, yeah. So what that is there, that's effectively a future museum. It's actually a cultural centre of new inventions.
Oh, right.
And there's some great things you can do there. You can actually have a picture taken of your retina, and you can take a picture away. It's like one of those science exhibits of quirky technology. So, I mean, it does change from time to time. Again, I'm not too sure whether that's going to be included on your experience, but definitely that'll be on my tick list. Then we're off to Passau. Now, I'd highly recommend, again, this is one of those days you just have a little bit of a wander, walk off all of that food and drink that you've been enjoying. There's the Oberhaus, which is one of the fortresses which it literally straddles several of the rivers, and then you've got St. Stephen's Church as well. In fact, in St. Stephen's there is one of the most beautiful pipe organs. So, even if you're not perhaps that religious, go in there to see it, because it's an absolute work of art. an absolute work of art.
Yeah, look at that. Come on, that's Christmas. That's Christmas all over, and I'm looking at that, and it's making my heart all warm. I'm getting all fuzzy.
I was just going to say, I recognise that. Of course, that's Prague. That's the actual square itself. So I've actually done Prague for the Christmas markets, and this tree right in the centre. Sometimes they have like a bridge that goes over the statues, because there's usually some statues when it's not the Christmas market.
Right.
The hotel that you're staying in, I can tell you now, it's the Hilton.
Yeah, that we know.
Superb.
And isn't this near the centre? This is a good hotel to be in, isn't it?
Perfect location, literally. Just a few minutes walk down to the actual town itself.
Perfect, yeah.
And then you've got all of these wonderful restaurants around. There's also the astronomical clock as well. If you don't know where it is, just see where everybody's standing and looking up, because that's where it is.
Astronomical, as in it costs a lot to make?
No, it's quite unique, should we say, like the sun and the moon and the planets moving around. Basically, it gets to the hour, everybody takes a picture, and then they all clear off. But you've got to do it. You've got to do it.
You've sold me on it.
One of the other things as well, can you see the bridge there?
Yeah.
So that's actually the Charles Bridge. And on the Charles Bridge, there's 30 statues that go across, and they're all the patron saints.
Yeah.
But there's one particular patron saint there, and it looks, they're all like brass rubbings. And there's this little dog that nobody works out well. Apparently it brings luck. So you just got to go and rub this dog. But it's actually rubbed it, so it's all bright. And then there's another one on the other side with the Queen as well. The older part of the town, where you can see the cathedral, fantastic. Not the cathedral, the castle, is absolutely fantastic. But there's so much. I'm only just literally scratching the surface on this cruise.
Well, I get a 7-day cruise and then 3 nights in Prague at the Hilton. And there's so many inclusions, so let's go through those for you right now. As we said, the Hilton right there in the centre, so you enjoy that. Overnight on board in Budapest. When we say on board, that means you treat the hotel, the ship, your vessel. Hey, I wonder if that's it. I wonder if that's it. That could be it. We could have fluffed up. We could have fluffed up. You might have seen the secret ship. So we guarantee it's 5-star, but your overnight means you can get on and off the ship as much as you want. You treat it like a hotel. It's up against the pier in Budapest, Passau and Nuremberg, so enjoy that. House wine, beer and soft drinks included with lunch and dinner, and then of course you've got your return flights as well, and all the overseas transfers included too. And as Justin said, the shore excursions are also included.
Oh, and free Wi-Fi as well.
Cruise ID for this one, 159289, and that's this Christmas. You'll actually be away for Christmas, so if you think, oh, what are we going to do, we're stuck here on our own, or you just don't want to be around Christmas, then get out. Well, you go to Christmas market, so you want to enjoy the idea of Christmas. All right, let's move on to the next one, because this is our 4th cruise. We're going to try and squeeze in 7, but this one's going to be quick, because this is a last-minute deal, so we've got to be brief on this. So this is the great line of Fred Olsen.
Fred Olsen, yeah, it's on Blackwatch, which is a classic ship, but it's on the 7th of December. 7th of December, so if you're already thinking it's just over a month away, then you can get away. And again, Christmas markets. This time we're looking at Germany. Now, again, Fred Olsen, superb cruise line. Blackwatch, again, is actually recently gone under a major upgrade to the cabins, the suites, and the public areas as well. That was back just less than a year, but absolutely superb. But the destinations that you're going to, you're leaving from Tilbury, which is fantastic for those of you, again, that don't want to fly.
East London, that's East London.
You're going to 2 ports in Germany, one of them which holds a very special place, and you know a lot more about this, about Hamburg, and the reason being. Yeah, absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. And it works out now that you can upgrade as well to all-inclusive for just £15 a night.
So it's great. In fact, I've got friends that have been on the Blackwatch. They absolutely love it. The size of the ship is perfect.
But she's also, I mean, the refit that she went last November, I believe it was, so just coming up for the year, it really has changed her. Because, I mean, she's a classic cruise ship, and, you know, people love it. You know, you look at it, 28,500 tonnes with just 762 passengers. So if you like a little bit more coziness, it's great. But
can we let's just flash up the itinerary so you get some idea of where you'll be going. And again, nice thing, it's Tilbury to Tilbury, so think of it as East London, because it's on the Thames. Yeah,
Tilbury, relaxing day at sea, and then you're into Hamburg, and this is an overnight on board. Hamburg, again, your Christmas markets here. So you'll have that wonderful, all the Christmas music will be playing, the smells of the food. There's the actual town hall itself of Hamburg, and that's where they have one of the major Christmas markets there in that square. There's some really nice restaurants in that building as well. And just if you walk down some of the back streets, there's some lovely local German cafes. And all I can say is, you have never seen cafes like the cafes in Germany. It's great. Also, you're overnight in Hamburg, so if you love music, you've got to do the Beatles tour, because of course they did a lot of work in Germany, and of course there's the Reeperbahn if you want to see a little bit of the wilder side of Hamburg. Then you're off to Bremen, and again you get another overnight on board, but it's all about the Christmas markets. Just imagine wandering around a fantastic medieval market. Look at the size of that square. I can tell you now that square will be full of Christmas markets and stands, and it'll be traditional toys, wooden decorations, beautiful things that you'll buy and you'll treasure for years to come. We've got loads of stuff that we've bought from the German market, and we bring them back every Christmas. And again, 7th of December, you can actually do some of your Christmas shopping and bring back some really good quality presents for your family.
And bear in mind, this one is designed that you get to go away and come back, and you are at home for Christmas. So if that's important to you, you will be home for Christmas. Let's go through what's included. In fact, you can... well, I'll go through it all for you now. Overboard on night, Hamburg and Bremen, as we already said. Great opportunity because you use the ship as a hotel, so on and off as much as you want. This is a bit I wanted to share with you. Upgrade to all-inclusive from just £15 per person tonight. And you go from a single cabin, well, from as little as £679, which is brilliant. There is a special as well for singles, so if you are a single and you are travelling, then you will get that price, which is brilliant value for money, because a lot of the cruise lines make the price go up dramatically, don't they?
Just on a very, very quick point, talking about single prices, we're going to do a little bit of a feature a little bit later on for single travellers. If you're on your own and you're thinking, I've never travelled on a cruise line as a single traveller, we're going to go through a few bits and pieces that might interest you, so stay tuned on that.
Yeah, really do. Now, well, let's move on to a great line. It's called Azamara. This is their newest ship, but I've got to get this across right now. The last day to get this deal is tomorrow. Tomorrow at midnight, the deal ends. So listen to it, and you're thinking, oh, my goodness, I love the idea of that. And ultimately, we're talking a 9-night Mediterranean cruise, but this deal does end tomorrow at midnight.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
and this is a last-minute deal, because this is... Oh, sorry, not last-minute deal. This is 28th of October next year, but this is the latest addition to the fleet.
Let's have a look at the video, and we'll maybe talk us over it, because it's a great line.
Yeah, I mean, Azamara...
I know these ships. It's beautiful.
It's a different level. You know, we are talking butler service in suites and above. We are talking, you know, your crew to guest ratio is nearer 2 to 1. So it's absolutely superb. The actual ship itself is just come across from the P&O fleet, but she is having an extensive refurbishment, and it will be incredible. I mean, all of Azamara, in the industry, people always go about which cruise line would you like to go on. Half the people that I've spoke to, they always go, oh, I'd love to go on Azamara. Yeah. And again, you know, if you've already been on Azamara, then you'll know the quality, you'll know the standard. If you've got a special occasion, if it's an anniversary, a celebration, or if it's just because, you know, you're saying about the bucket list, like, let's just do it, you know, because we are talking 5-star, and it's just exceptional what you've got here. We're also going to give you an opportunity, apart from this, I think this is the only Mediterranean cruise that we've got tonight, we've also got the opportunity to book a pre or post cruise stay as well with this one in Rome and Barcelona. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. But size-wise, 32,000 tonnes. You know, your passengers, only 710, and the passenger to crew ratio, superb.
So if you never like the idea of, you know, oh, there's thousands of people on this ship, this is certainly one to consider. Come on, let's go through the itinerary, because it's quite an unusual itinerary. Yeah,
this is a really, this is classic. So you're starting in Rome. This is your embarkation port. You're not staying there. You're going straight to the beauty of Sardinia. And Olbia
Have you been to Sardinia?
Yeah.
Amazing, isn't it?
To be actually two islands that are my favourite, Corsica, which you're going to next, but Olbia is absolutely stunning.
It's got that Italian flavour.
Oh, flavour, style. It just oozes passion. I mean, look at those beaches. One of the best ones that I've got to recommend is Costa Smeralda. It's just absolutely amazing. And some of the local artefacts that you can buy as well. Yeah. It's really well known for its lace. So if you love lace, if you want to bring something back, then you can do. Off we go now to Corsica, and we're actually going to Bastia, so this is at the north of the island. This is, again, it's one of those places that's got like a dual identity. Parts of it is very Italian, parts of it are very French, and that makes it unique. Birthplace of Napoleon Bonaparte, so there's lots of history here. And from what I remember, this is one of the only places I actually went on a holiday after I'd been there on a cruise.
Well, oh, see, I'm the opposite. I'd never, 18 years on cruise ships,
never
visited either of these ports.
No.
Never visited either of the islands on a cruise ship. In fact, Sardinia, we went on our honeymoon.
Yeah,
because we'd never been. So I said, come on, let's
just
go.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. If you do want to go out, you can actually do a little bit more outdoor activities because there's some lovely forests. But for me, I'd stay in town. The beaches are great, and just have a great lunch with a glass of rosé. Rosé's really good in Corsica, by the way.
No,
really good.
Not good anywhere.
Anyway, now we're off to a real highlight. We said about the, a really unique itinerary. Go to Florence and Pisa. So this is your big tour day.
Overnight.
Yes, yeah. Do you know? I'm glad you reminded me of that.
Yeah,
that
it's overnight.
Do you know what? It's one. I know it sounds like an obvious statement. It is night and day. But, the difference that it makes. But just imagine, go and do the Leaning Tower of Pisa and then go out in Florence in the evening. Just imagine all that architecture. You can see the Ponte Vecchio Bridge, go and see David. Just imagine going and see, and that's only one of David's, there's about 6 of them.
Yeah,
go and see it when it's lit. Oh, the photos, the memories that you'll have, that'll just be superb. And in fact, out of the 2.5 years now that I've been doing this show, I think that's the first time I've ever heard of an overnight in Florence and Pisa.
And I got a great photograph. I'm like, I don't know, about 600 feet in front of the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a classic one, we all do it. And it looks like I'm holding it up. It looks like I'm holding it up because it's about to fall over. But, it's just an illusion, obviously. But it's fun to do. Go do it. Go do it. Go do it. Go do it.
Definitely. Then we're off to...
I've got another one with David.
I hope you weren't holding him up. Anyway, now we're off to one of my favourite ports for many different reasons. One, because you can play for the day. You can play as if you're a millionaire.
Yeah.
You go to Monte Carlo.
Love it.
And, of course, the association, for those of you who love motorsport, I mean, it is the jewel in the Formula One crown.
You must have been a few times.
Several times. I've been lucky enough now on the ships. Casino Square, and this is where the cars come up through. You can go into the
and you're just standing outside the casino and you see the rich turn up. You see Ferraris and
Ferraris, McLarens, Rolls Royces.
Yeah, way beyond that sort of the regular car you expect.
Go and see the palace, definitely, and highly recommend taking a wander along the beach. There's a lovely Princess Grace Gardens as well that you can go to. But it really is, just enjoy it. Go to Café de Paris and just have lunch. It will be expensive, but go and do it. You're going to only be there for one day.
It might be a bucket list for you again.
It's just, again, I absolutely love Monte Carlo.
But then we get a day at sea to chill out, really relax.
Then we're into Mallorca. Again, it's quite nice that we're saying that Mallorca is a little bit of a tonic to some of these big ports because, these are big ports. Palma, go onto the beach, have a day.
We just went there. We were there earlier this year. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Good shopping in town, but on this particular itinerary, I'd say just go to the beach, go to one of the marinas, just chill out. Then final port of call is Valencia. Now, Valencia, loads of history here. Also, if you do want to go and do some outdoorsy activities, then there's the Albufera National Park. You've got the Old Quarter, very medieval, so all the sort of squares, you can sort of have a little bit of a wander, get a little bit lost around there. And, of course, there's the Ladro Museum as well, so if you love your porcelain, which I know many viewers do, then that's going to be perfect. Then you're back to Barcelona this time to disembark. But what you can do is you can either do a pre- or a post-cruise stay, which we'll tell you about in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, now this is deposit only, and it's for October next year, so you've got plenty of time to sort yourself out on this one. It is Azamara Club Cruises. It's the newest ship, as we said. Absolutely stunning, big refit on it. Free up to $600 on board spend per stateroom. So imagine that, you get $600 given to you to spend on the ship. Your drinks and tips are included, plus you get a free upgrade. And again, if you're wondering why should I go through Planet Cruise, this is a reason why you want to go Planet Cruise. Drinks and tips included, plus free upgrade to Ocean View stateroom. They're going to give you an ocean view. And as Justin, I'll get them to cover off in more detail on this, but if you wanted to, you could have 2 nights before you go in Rome, or you could have 2 nights at the end in Barcelona. It's entirely up to you. You work out what you want. And again, any questions you've got, or something you think I didn't ask Justin or we didn't get to answer, call the team. They're waiting for your call right now. And it's free to call. Have a chat with them. They're all experienced when it comes to cruise lines, all been on ships, know what ships are all about, and they can answer your questions for you. So tell us quickly about the before and after, the Rome and Barcelona.
It's just a great way to extend the cruise. I mean, to be fair, if you really wanted to, you'd perhaps do it both sides, you know.
I would.
Because if you've been to Rome, it's great to have a couple of days there and do the Colosseum properly, do the Vatican City, and just enjoy, you know, have a wander around in the evening, go to Spanish Steps in the evening, have a meal out in Rome.
Both of those cities. And
Barcelona.
You got the opportunity to really enjoy it. So add the 2 days if you can. Now, we did say we were going to talk about singles, and we had a special available to singles. So let's take a moment to do that right now.
Yeah, so we've got some great single cruises offer. We've got 11 nights, which is the Northern Lights voyage from Bergen. This is departing November this year, so 22nd of November. And there is no single supplement. So the great thing is you're not having to pay extra. You get your own cabin, you get all of your return flights from London and your transfers, and you're getting to see all those wonderful ports. So Olsen, Trondheim, Honnesvåg, Hammerfest, some real classic Norwegian ports. Then there's an opportunity as well to do a Christmas market if you want to do this.
On the Danube again, I was lucky enough to sail up and down the Danube. It is an amazing opportunity. 6 nights. Now, this particular one you can see 22nd of December. So 6 nights, it's going to take you right through Christmas. So again, if you want to be out and about and enjoy it, this is a great way to go. Lots of deals. Your ID numbers are worth mentioning. If you want to go for the 11-night Northern Lights, your cruise ID number is 128024. Just share that with the team and they'll know exactly what cruise you're talking about. Or your second one, your 6 nights on the Danube at 146190.
The great thing is, though, these single cruises, what this actually offers you is, you know, an opportunity to travel. And, you know, I really do encourage, and I empower people to do this because certainly in my memories of P&O, I met some great people, and we you know, certainly speaking from experience from P&O's perspective, they used to put on a whole range of activities that was inclusive for single travellers. So we used to have something called Travelling Alone, where we'd invite people to come down and have a coffee, meet the officers on board the ship, but have a chat, and then you meet like-minded people. And, you know, it's amazing the people that you'll meet, the experiences that you'll have. You might want to perhaps then share a tour or, you know, have a drink in the evening. And, you know, the great thing is you don't have to feel alone. There's so many people there. I always used to take the ladies for a dance as well. So...
And I bet I haven't worked on the ships. I know it's an environment that you can feel very, very safe in. So as a single, you feel very safe, very comfortable.
Do you know, there was a passenger that I still remember now. I don't know whether she's watching, but Margaret always used to come on board, and she'd be like perhaps 6 times a year. And, you know, it was the highlight of her cruise to come on board because she'd bring all of her gowns. She'd really, you know, enjoy that meeting people. She'd dance with the officers as well. So, you know, travelling as a single passenger, especially the deals that we just give you there, no single supplements, plenty on board to do, and very inclusive as well. So you will get to meet people.
Again, just feel free to call the team. Got any questions? Ask about them, but there are 2 more cruises for you to consider. Now, we're going to move on to celebrity, and, you know, we're talking about Justin worked on the ships, I worked on the ships. My sister worked on the cruise ships as well. She was there for a number of years. In fact, met her husband there, and she loves celebrity cruises. It's her favourite cruise. This, however... is a
deal.
Halloween special, and I know this is a bit corny, but these prices are scary. Get this. Get this. £72 per person per night. It is the lowest price per night that we're talking about. £72 per person per night. And even if you go aqua class, which is first class, I had to work this out because I couldn't believe it. Aqua class, normally for many of us, is out of reach because you get so many things, butler service and all that sort of stuff. £93 per person per night. So if you've always wanted to go first class, this is the one to get. Come on, let's show you a celebrity ship right now. It's brilliant. I've seen these guys grow and grow and grow.
But to be fair, you know, back in the day, I always used to have cruise ship envy because celebrity ships. This is the sister ship. It is absolutely stunning. You know, you've got the facilities like Cellar Masters on there. You've got fantastic Aqua Spa Cafe. You've got cuisine as well, which is all of your menus on your iPad. The Tuscan Grill, Sushi on 5. You've got the Ice Top Martini Bar, which is one of my favourites. It really is. It's modern, luxury. So it really is elegant, even down to the quality of the bed sheets and the bed linen that you get. Drinks served on the quay side as well. Fantastic range of gelato and ice cream, and exceptional service. The actual ship itself, the Constellation, she's been brought up to the Millennium class standard now, so exactly the same level of experience and quality as you get on that car. I love the martini glasses that you got there.
Yeah, that's Halloween all over again, isn't it?
But the price, I haven't seen celebrity at this price. I can't remember the last time I've seen it, but where are you going?
If you're in Glasgow, or in Scotland, I should say, if you're in Scotland, we are doing flights from Scotland as well, out of Glasgow. So better if you think, oh, I've got to get all the way to Southampton, all the way to Dover, then this is a great one for you, because we have got flights out of Glasgow. I'm being told we're limited stock on this because it's selling so quickly. This is for December this year, just around the corner, and this deal ends tonight at midnight.
You have to book it tonight.
At midnight. So let's go and have a look at the itinerary. A lot of time at sea on this one.
Well, I'm just going to give you a brief overview. If you want to find out more details, then speak to the guys in the office. But you're going to be going to Goa, fantastic ports, fantastic beaches there. You've got fantastic opportunity to go into Mumbai or Bombay, and this is overnight on board. Plenty to see and do there. You can go to Elephantana's Island Caves, the Taj Mahal, the Dhobi Ghats, the Gateway of India. And always remember, make sure that you let your cabin steward have the day off on this day, because it's a big day for a lot of the crew on board. Then we're off to Oman. We're going to Muscat. There's the Royal Palace there, the Grand Mosque, the Corniche Matra. Plenty to see and do there, and I'd highly recommend ask about tours that are available there when you book with your cruise representative. Then you're into Dubai, and you've got an overnight in Dubai. Of course, you've got to go and see the Burj Khalifa, which is the world's tallest building. Go to see the Palm Islands and all of the wonderful malls as well. There's the Mall of the Emirates, there's the Dubai Mall, there's the Gold Souk.
It's a bucket list visit, isn't it?
Yeah.
For a lot of people, that is a bucket list
visit.
And
I just want to point out, the reason why I'm not going into too much detail on this one, it's a last-minute deal. It's an unbelievably low price.
The deal ends at midnight tonight. Midnight tonight, the deal is off. All you need to hear is Celebrity Cruises, £72 per person per night. Get your hands on it, and that is for this December this year, so don't miss out on it. We're talking the what's the date?
6th of December.
6th of December, yeah, just a few weeks away. Get on it. Give the team a call right now. Now we are going to move on to our 7th one. This is Princess Cruises. This is another bucket list cruise, because we're talking about the opportunity to go to Australia. We're talking about the opportunity to see the Barrier Reef as well. So we're flying to Sydney?
Flying to Sydney, and you get 2 nights in Sydney, so there's plenty to see and do there. I mean, the harbour itself, really easy to get around on some of the water taxis. In general, most of the ships will actually dock underneath the bridge, so you're opposite the Sydney Opera House. So it is really, I mean, there's the cruise terminal there, just at the bottom of the picture there. There's also the zoo opposite. There's plenty of zoos, so you can go and see the koalas there. I would say, really do plan this cruise, so ask about tours that are available that you can book, because then you can look at what you do in each port.
We've got a little bit of time, because it's March next year, or even September next year.
And of course, having a couple of days in Sydney, it's one of the cleanest cities I've ever been to.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. So go to St James's Park, have a wander around there and see the church in there's quite nice. Anyway, then you're going on board the ship.
Well, we've got a video of this one.
Yeah.
So, in fact, we're lucky at these. You must get to do some of these videos.
No. I don't need to do this one, because this is actually the second ship that I ever sailed on.
All right. Well,
so the Sea Princess
Jade was lucky enough to get sent out to do this video. Watch this.
Regardless of which Princess Cruises ship you get on, you'll find yourself with a host of dining, entertainment and relaxation options to suit your needs. Whether you prefer the traditions of set-time dining, or you prefer to pick when, where and who you eat with, the option is yours on board a Princess ship. Princess Cruises have always taken speciality dining to the next level, from the sumptuous steaks in the Crown Grill through to the incredible Italian flavours of Sabatinis. The first of 2 new offerings is Steamer's Seafood, where you can feast on amazing shellfish, all accompanied by generous sides and dipping sauces. The second new taste sensation is Planks, serving up American-style barbecue options on planks, loaded with 4 meats, chilli, coleslaw and fries. Oh, and some really incredible looking desserts. Princess Cruises love looking after the whole family during your cruise. Camp Discovery offers 3 different age categories and areas, all themed in collaboration with the Discovery Channel. Children aged 3 to 17 will have everything they need to keep them amused for hours at a time. Whichever Princess Cruises ship you go on, you are sure to find something entertaining happening. From the street performers in the Piazza through to the full Broadway-style productions in the Princess Theatre. But this is Princess, so we can't talk about entertainment without mentioning the movies under the stars up here on deck. Whichever stateroom you pick, you'll get comfortable beds, a flat screen TV, mini bar and bathroom with shower. If you're looking for a bit of extra outside space, then an upgrade to a balcony is a must. For that touch of luxury though, suites are the perfect option, offering you extra space and amenities in your room and complimentary access to the Lotus Spa thermal suite, amongst other exclusive benefits.
What a job, eh? Well, these guys have got the job.
I know, but while Jade was there, we were just talking about Margaret, weren't we?
Yeah, we were. We were talking about the good old days. Listen, you're going to, again, I want to reiterate why it's so important to book your cruise through Planet Cruise.
Yeah.
On this one, you're going to get an upgrade to Ocean View for as little as £13 per person per night. £13 per person tonight. You just upgrade.
Definitely.
So should we have a look at the itinerary? Because it's a great itinerary.
Yeah, you know, Australia, it's great, full stop. And again, if you've never travelled that far, then this is a great way to do it. First of all, you're going to Arley Beach. This is where you've got to go and do the Great Barrier Reef. Look at the wonderful oceans there. This is not far from Whitsunday Islands as well, so you want to go there. You can do some of the local coffee plantations as well, and it's just the picture set.
And in fact, we get caught up in work, caught up in our daily lives, and we forget how gorgeous the world is. Look at this.
Yeah, and again, you know, if there's too much to do in one day, the next day where you're in Cairns, you can still do the Great Barrier Reef there as well, because it's so expansive. But apart from that, you've got some great rainforests as well. You've got the Aboriginal Park in Cairns. You've also got a snorkel and dive opportunity that you can go off to the Great Barrier Reef and snorkel and dive there, or just lay on the beach, just enjoy that. Off to Port Douglas now. This is one place that I would highly recommend booking a tour in advance through our guys. And that's the scenic railway, the Cunard. And this railway goes through the rainforest, so it's quite sort of legendary. It dates back to like the 1800s. And there's also something called the Skyrail Rainforest Cableway, where you go through. It's touted as sort of like the world's most beautiful rainforest experience. You go through the upper canopy and stop off. It's like
something like that in Costa Rica. It's amazing.
Yeah,
really amazing.
Some of the zip lines as well and stuff like that. So, but this is all quite relaxed. Then you've got a day which you're at sea, but you're cruising around Willis Island, which again, stunning. And you know, I wouldn't be surprised if perhaps the bridge does a little bit of commentary. We'll point out some of the local wildlife if there's anything around. It's never guaranteed. But you have a nice relaxing day at sea, and then you're into Brisbane. Now, of course, Brisbane, this is where Steve Irwin used to have his crocodile zoo. And if you want to go and see the local wildlife, I think this would be a really good one, especially if you used to watch the show and love it. Also, one of the big tours here is you can go on a brewery tour. And of course, if you remember one of the most famous, Castlemaine 4X, it's the actual brewery here, so you can go there and you can go do that.
And can we get some of these tours in advance? We don't have to wait to get to the ship?
Yeah, book it through. When you book the cruise, ask about the tours that are available to book, because it saves time when you get on board, and we've done it all.
And you know that it's not going to be sold out, because that can be heartbreaking.
Oh, when you get on board.
You've planned it in your head, you know what you're going to do, you get to the excursion office and they say, oh, that one's sold out, it's already booked up. Because, you know, bear in mind, if you're going September next year, then people are booking in advance, people are getting organised, and you can be deposit only just to take plan of this. So really do consider talking to the team about your excursions.
And there's a reason why the team and myself, we're recommending this, is because we have been there and done that. We've had to say to passengers, I'm really sorry, it's fully booked. You know, we're just giving you advice. Anyway, you've also got the Gold Coast as well there, but all of what's included there, you know, you get 3-night stay in Sydney, so you've got plenty to see and do there, and also acclimatise as well. The upgrade has got to be done. £13 per person per night to upgrade for an inside to an ocean view, and that's all of your flights included, your returns and your transfers.
And let me cover your prices off so you can see you've got a few choices here. Again, March of next year or September. September is deposit only. You can see that you've already had a sellout. The suites for March have already sold out, and it is phenomenal value for money when you bear in mind that you're going to the other side of the world. This is a bucket list cruise for many of you. So your cruise ID on that particular one is 158664. Now I'm going to whiz through the 7 trips and I do mean whiz through these 7 trips, you might want to have a pen, a piece of paper, and write down the cruise ID numbers. Worst case scenario, just write down the phone number so you can call the team afterwards. 0808 250 2662. You'll see it on the screen in a moment. So the first one we did was Cunard. This was my very last... In fact, it wasn't my very last cruise line because I retired from ships, you know, not from work, but I retired from cruise ships after 18 years. Went to see Helen, the wife, on Princess Cruises, and they called up and said, can you work here for a while? So I ended up going around Hawaii for a few months with them. True story. So Cunard, phenomenal. Write down the ID number if this appeals to you. It is brilliant value for money. And don't forget, you've got the opportunity to upgrade, free upgrade from inside to outside, upgrade to balcony for just £32 per person per night. So brilliant value for money. And as Justin had said, you can have that one night at the Holiday Inn Winchester if you wish, and that includes your parking and your transfers. 124 254 is your ID number. Then we had Saga, and we were lucky enough to have Sukina pop in and see us. Yeah,
this is a great opportunity to get on board a brand new ship that will be setting sail in September of 2019. It's a stunning ship. I can't emphasise this enough. I love this. The fact that you get door-to-door chauffeur service, there are terms and conditions apply. I believe it's 250 miles on that one. But it's an all-balcony ship. You get free Wi-Fi included, and you get your wines, beers, and your soft drinks with dinner as well. One thing that's quite unique, is because this is cruising for the over 50s, it is included with insurance, and there's no upper age limit on that, so that's all included. I'll
just add as well, that chauffeur thing, that is for everyone, but if you're over 250 miles away, then there's a small fee. So, you know, don't think, oh, it's not fair because I'm over... Take advantage of it, call the team and find out what the fee is. Give them a quick call. Let's go on to the Secret River Cruise. The Secret River Cruise. We can guarantee you, and that may well be it in the background, they might have fluffed this one up, but we're not going to tell you the name of the ship or the line, but I can guarantee you it's 5-star. You've got a 7-night cruise, and then you get 3 nights in Prague at the Hilton, which is right there in the town. And this is for December this year, so it's a great opportunity. You've got your house wine, beer and soft drinks included with lunch and dinner, free Wi-Fi included, and your shore excursions are also included, so great value for money. Cruise ID 159289. What about Fred Olsen, Justin?
This is a last-minute deal on this one. This is over to Hamburg and Bremerhaven. This is the 7th of December, so just over a month away, and you can get a fantastic price there, £639 per person. And that's ID number 116535.
Now I'm going to move on to the Azamara. This is the Azamara Pursuit, their newest ship. But don't forget, it's the last day for this deal. This deal ends tomorrow at midnight. So if you want this offer, this deal, you've got to do it now. You can go deposit only. There's lots included in this. You've also got the opportunity to add the 2 nights in Rome before the cruise, or 2 nights in Barcelona after, one or the other. But that price will go up at midnight tomorrow, the 1st of November. Lots of goodies included. Now then, there's the Halloween special, another last-minute deal.
Yeah, this one actually ends tonight. You have to book it tonight. And this is with Celebrity. I tell you, you really don't want to miss out on this one because the price is unbelievable. £72.
That's right.
From £72. And Aqua Class from just £1,199.
£93 per person per night for Aqua Class.
Yeah, and this is overnights in Mumbai and Dubai, and you get all of your return flights, and we're including prices from Glasgow.
Yeah, that's right. We've still got some Scottish flights available, so do consider that one. And then finally, the 16-night Australia and Barrier Reef trip. Do not miss out on it. Deposit only, and it's for March or September of next year. Cruise ID is 158664. I know we whizzed through that. Let me say a big thank you to Justin.
Always a
good
pleasure.
to see you, Man Hugs Buddy. And a big thank you to you for watching. Call the team 0808 250 2662. They're waiting for your call right now.